Hey guys, okay, today we are going to talk about how to find lateral and total surface area of prisms. Make sure you write down everything you see on the screen and make sure you write down everything that I write down. Your objective for today, you will be able to solve problems involving the lateral and total surface area of prisms. Alright, let's talk about the difference between total and lateral surface area. Total surface area is just the sum of all the areas of the shapes that cover the surface of the object. So if I were to take this triangular prism, to find total surface area, I would find the area of every single side. So I would take these two triangles, these three rectangles, I would take all those areas and add them together to get my total surface area. Now lateral surface area, that's just the sum of the faces of a prism excluding the base. So that means we don't include the base when we find the area. So if I were to take the lateral surface area of this rectangular prism, that means I'm not going to use the area for my two bases. I'm just going to ignore that. I'm only going to find the area of the four remaining faces and add all those together to get the lateral surface area. I want you to keep in mind during this video that a prism is a 3D object that has two parallel bases that are congruent shapes. Okay, so whenever we find surface area, we really need to think about the shapes that make up that 3D figure. So if we take this rectangular prism and we lay it out, and we have this net, we see that we only have rectangles. Okay, so if we only have rectangles, that means that to find the area of each one, we need to use area equals base times height. I also want you to notice that in this net, it already has some dimensions here for you. So if we were to take the front side of this rectangular prism, we notice that it has a base of 10 and a height of 6. So if you look over here at this front, as you can see, this measures 10, this will also measure 10, and then this measures 6, this will also measure 6. So the front side here also has dimensions of 10 and 6. Alright, now for a triangular prism, when we take this triangular prism, lay it out, and see its net, we see that we have rectangles and we have triangles. So if we are going to find surface area, we have to find the area of rectangles, area equals base times height, and we have to find the area of triangles, so area equals base times height divided by 2. Notice again that our dimensions here, we see them again inside the net. Now, if this side measures 5, we know that this side will measure 5, and this side, and this side. This one is very conveniently color-coded, so we can see that all of these blue sides measure 5. This measures 10. This must also measure 10. And then as we can see here, this 10 is the hypotenuse of the triangle. So we know that this would be 10, and this would be 10. And then we have our 8 centimeters. This would also be 8. We see our purple down here again, 8, and of course we have the 8 over here. So we really need to make sure that we label every single part whenever we are looking at these nets. Alright, so let's go ahead and just talk about the steps for finding lateral and total surface area. If we're finding lateral area, first thing we want to do is we want to shade the bases. So if I were taking lateral surface area of this figure, I'm going to shade in this base and this base. Remember, this is a triangular prism. That means the bases are triangles and they're kind of hanging off the side. So I know I'm just going to get rid of those. I'm going to ignore them. I only want to find area for these. So after I've done that, I want to label all the missing sides, just like we did on the previous page. Use the formula area equals base times height to find the area of all the faces. So area equals base times height because these are all rectangles. After I get all those areas, I'm going to just add them all together, and that will be the lateral area. Now, if it were this rectangular prism right here, these are my bases. whatever is sticking off to the side, those are going to be your bases. So I want you to think of this like a sidewalk, okay? You're walking on a sidewalk. These parts are not on the sidewalk. Over here, you're walking on the sidewalk. These parts are not on the sidewalk. So lateral surface area, think of it like the sidewalk. Get rid of the bases that are sticking off on each side. Now, total surface area. You're going to identify the shapes you have, label all the missing sides, write the formula inside the shape. So you're going to write the area formula inside of each one so you can solve. You're going to substitute the info into the formula, find the area of each shape, and then add the area of all the shapes. Okay, let's do some examples together. In example 1, we want to find the lateral and total surface area of this rectangular prism. Now, as you notice, this is exactly the same as this. And what I am going to do is I am going to find lateral surface area on this side, total I'm going to find over here on this side. All right, so lateral surface area. First thing we want to do is we want to shade in our bases because we don't care about those. That's not part of it. So these are sticking off to the side. If this is a sidewalk, these two are not part of it. So these are my bases. So I'm just going to shade those in. I don't care about those. I'm going to be very careful not to shade around the numbers. Okay, I'm going to ignore those. Now, I'm going to label all of my missing sides. So, if this side measures 4, so does this side. If this side measures 8, so does this side. So does this, and this. All right, if this side measures 6, this must also measure 6. If this measures 4, this must measure 4. And if this measures 6, this side must measure 6. Okay, now I want to use the formula area equals base times height and find the area of the faces. They're all rectangles, so that's why we use area equals base times height. Now I am going to zoom in here. Okay, so area equals base times height. In this rectangle, we have got a base of 8, a height of 4. Area equals 8 times 4. So our area equals 32 centimeters squared. Okay, next rectangle. Area equals base times height. Base of 8, height of 6. Area equals 8 times 6. So our area equals 48 centimeters squared. I'm writing my area in a different color. You can do that, or you can just underline the area so that you know to come back to it later. All right. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Okay, next rectangle. All right, area equals base times height. Got a base of 8, a height of 4. So that's 8 times 4. So my area equals 32 centimeters squared. And here again, we have got a base of 8, a height of 6. So area equals 8 times 6. Area equals 48 centimeters squared. Okay, so now that I have every single area, what I want to do is I want to now add all of those areas together. So I have 32, 48, 32, and 48 again. And now I'm just going to add those together. 2 plus 8 is 10, plus another 10 makes 20. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 4 is 16. So my total, or my lateral surface area, equals 160 centimeters squared. All right, now over here, I want to find total surface area. So we have rectangles, so I know I need area equals base times height. Now I want to label the missing sides. So I know this is 8, this is 4. I know that this is 6, this is 4, this is 6, and then over here, I know if this is 4, we're going to have a 4 here, a 6, and another 4. I know this is 8, this is 4, this is 8, that is 8, and this will be 6. Okay, and I am going to zoom in again. Now, what I'm going to do, since this is the exact same figure as before, I'm just going to go ahead and just transfer the areas I already know. So I know that this is 32 centimeters squared. I know this is 48. I know this is 32. And this is 48. Okay, now I am going to zoom in. Now I want to find the area of each of these. So we've got rectangles, so area equals base times height. Area equals a base of 4 times a height of 6. So the area equals 24 centimeters squared. And since I know this rectangle is exactly the same, I can go ahead and say this is also 24 centimeters squared. So now what I want to do is I just want to add everything together. So I have 32 plus 48 plus 32 plus 48 plus 24 plus 24. Now, some of you may be thinking, why can't I just add 24 and 24 to the area I got here? You can definitely do that. I'm just going to go ahead and just add up each individual part though. So I have a 10 here, another 10 makes 20, plus 8 is 28. Carry my 2. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 4 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 4 is 16, plus 2 is 18, plus 2 is 20. So my total surface area equals 208 centimeters squared. Alright, example 2, we want to find the lateral and total surface area. So I'm going to do lateral over here, total over here. Okay, first thing I want to do is shade the bases if I'm doing lateral. So I do not want to find the area of these. This is the part that's hanging off the sidewalk. Alright, so I am just concerned with these 3 rectangles right here. Now I want to label missing sides. 5, this must be 5, 5, and 5. That's 10. This side is 10. If that is 8, this side is 8. And if this is 9, this side is also 9. Okay, area equals base times height for the rectangle. Area equals 10 times 5. So we know the area equals 50. Okay, we've got another rectangle. Area equals base times height. We've got a base of 5 and a height of 8. So that area equals 40 centimeters squared. And finally, area equals base times height. Base of 5, height of 9. Area equals 45. And I did it again. I did not write it in pink. Area equals 45 centimeters squared. Alright, now what I want to do is I want to take each one of those areas and I'm going to add them together. So I have 50 plus 40 plus 45. 5 plus nothing is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 4 is 13. So my lateral surface area equals 135 centimeters squared. Now over here I want to find total. So we have rectangles and we have triangles. So I know that for a triangle, that's going to be base times height divided by 2. So I'm going to need that for these triangles right here. Now I want to label missing sides. I know all these will be 5. This is 10, it's across from this. If this is 8, this is 8. If this is 9, this is 9. And we know that these triangles are going to be congruent. So if this is 8, this is 8. Okay, now I'm going to write the formula inside of each shape. Just for the sake of time, I'm just going to copy these 3 over here since it's the exact same thing. So I have 50 centimeters squared. I have 40 centimeters squared, and now I have 45 centimeters squared. Now, for this triangle right here, since I don't have a whole lot of space in there, I am going to come out to the top and work that out. So I know for a triangle, area equals base times height divided by 2. This triangle has a base of 8 and a height of 9. Keep in mind, base and height intersect perpendicularly. So I've got 8 times 9 divided by 2. 8 times 9 is 72, and 72 divided by 2 is 36. So my area is 36 centimeters squared, which means that this area is also 36 centimeters squared. Now I am just going to add all of that together. All right, so I know from before, 50 plus 40 plus 45. All of that makes 135. 50, 40, 45. If I add all that together, it equals 135. So I've added those 3. Now I want to add 36 and 36. All right, we've got 12 here, plus 5 is 17. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 3 is 10, and 1 plus 1 is 2. So my total surface area, and I'm going to come out to the right since I ran out of space. So my total surface area equals 207 centimeters squared.
And students, please.
Okay, now it's time for you to try. Find the lateral and total surface area for the triangular prism.
That would only be.
Make sure you solve lateral on the left, and then find your total surface area on the right. Make sure you show all of your work so that you can get full credit on your notes. Make sure you have everything written down, and we will see you next class day. Have a wonderful day.